Hi friends, it's Claire from ScrappyNerdUK and welcome to episode 11 of my 6x6 paper pad series. And today I'm working with the Chamel Starshine collection. So I'm going to go with another multi-photo layout, just trying to get as many photographs onto one page as possible. And I chose these photographs from 15 years ago, I think this would have been. When we used to, with some friends, we used to go to the football game at Medeski Stadium, which is our local hometown club. And we used to stay overnight in the hotel, and the evening used to be filled with either drinking in the bar or doing something silly outside like playing football. And these photographs have been waiting to be scrapped. So I just pulled a piece of blue cardstock to work on, and I've matted my photographs on some white cardstock, and I'm just going to stick these down in almost a grid shape, but on a diagonal, and the rest of the area is going to be filled with pattern paper. And this idea and this inspiration came from one of the 6x6 pattern papers in the actual paper pad, and I'll show you that later on in the video. So I'm going to first of all make sure that I put my title down, and then I'm going to work my pattern paper around the photos. So I've done something similar to this layout before, and I've used scraps of paper, and this is another good way to use up scraps as well. So if you don't want to cut into 6x6, then grab your scrap box, because this will work perfectly as well. So the title for this layout is going to be Football Crazy, and I do use two different types of alphas on this. So I use these big black ones for the word football, and I'm just using my T-square ruler just to make sure that that is all straight and lined up. And then I'm going to bring these white alphas in to spell out the word crazy. And I felt so accomplished that I'd actually used a letter Z on a layout. So I was super happy to be including one letter Z. So I'm just going to line these alphas up because they're a little bit wonky, I've noticed. And I'm just going to move them over because I know that the pattern paper is going to come all the way up to the edge of the side of the photo. So I just want to leave myself enough room to do that. So I'm just going to now have a look through the pattern papers, and I'm going to use that camera one that I've used in a earlier layout in the series. I think it was episode 1 or 2 I've used that in. I'm going to pull this green paper and this text paper. I want that word to off of that sheet, and this is where I got the idea from. So it's almost a grid design, if you want to call it that, but it's not a traditional grid, because I'm going to be filling those spaces with a load of different pattern papers. So I do stick to 3, I think I stick to. I don't want it to go too crazy with the pattern papers, so I use the same paper in a couple of areas. And you'll see me here just trialing these papers just to see whether I like it. Now I'm going to use this one because I'm going to add journaling. Shock horror, I know, I'm actually going to add some journaling onto a layout, and so I pulled this knowing that that is going to be the space for my journaling. And then I'm just looking for a space that I can add another pop of that same pattern paper, and I decide to put it down in the bottom right. And you can see here I'm just lining it up and just using a pencil to mark where I want to cut it, and then that's being added into the space. So I'm just going to cut that word to out because I want to add that on as an embellishment on, I was going to put it on the bottom of the journaling box, but it does end up making its way to the top. So I've just cut a strip of that camera paper as well, and it's going to fill that gap there. And then the final paper I'm going to use is this text paper, and I'm just going to cut that down and fill that gap. And again, just using my pencil to mark where I need to cut it. That's going to end up getting slightly further trimmed. It's a little bit too long in that space, but I'll come back and do that. And then again, just for this box down the bottom. So I've got a mixture here of text paper, a very simple stripe, and then a busy camera paper. So I think it would just look a bit busy if I had on here 3 busy papers. So I think that, you know, calming it down with a simple stripe, one of the busier pattern papers, and then just the small text paper helps to not sort of distract your eye too much away from the photos. So just coming in again with the same alpha stickers, the same thickers. And I'm going to use some numbers. So these photographs are of my husband and his best friend, and my husband's number on his shirt is always 4, and his friend is always 18. So I add the number 4 and add the 18 on, which is another great way to use up some number alphas, number thickers, because I have tons of those in my stash. So I'm just going to go through the ephemera pack, and I've just chosen 2 pieces out of this. That hexagon piece that says every great dream begins with a dreamer, and just to pull that same colour up onto that top journaling box, I've added that important stuff banner, and just on with a couple of these are navy blue clear stickers from the same collection from the sticker sheet. And I'm just going to pull some of that red down into the bottom right with a clear sticker that says let's do this. So it's all looking a bit flat at the moment apart from the alphas, so I'm going to come in with some foam stickers, foam double-sided dot things, and I'm just going to add some dimension to that die cut that's going in the centre of that piece. And then finally on to the last element. So I'm just going to stick that important stuff banner down. I've added a couple of staples into the top of that word too, just to give it again some texture and a design element. And pop my journaling down into this stripy paper, and making sure that I'm using the whole space, so using the white and the green lines. And you can see that I've used a 0.3 fine liner. I bought a pack of these, 6 of them from the range in the UK, and I think they cost me £6. Absolute bargain. So last thing, I'm just going to add in some Tim Holtz tiny word stickers. I haven't added these on a layout for quite a while, so I thought I'd grab some of these and pop them on. And apart from that, this is my layout finished. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of 6x6. I'll see you back here again on Friday with another episode. If you've enjoyed this and it's brought you inspiration, then please do give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, do subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you back here same time, same place on Friday. Thanks for watching. Bye.